Welcome to Merkaba Chakras, where we talk Buddhism in the fifth dimension.
Welcome to another podcast episode of Merkaba Chakras. I'm your host, Von Galt, and today we discuss running a business with the energy of fifth dimension consciousness with CEO Steve Allen of Steve Allen Media. So, with that, Steve, welcome to Merkaba Chakras.
Thank you. Welcome. Honored. Thank you, Vaughn. Seriously, thank you very much.
Let me ask you: have you been a comedian before? Is that one of your careers in your lifetime?
No, my energy's high. My energy is high and it's happy, and so in talking to you, I'm not going to like downplay my energy. I feel upbeat, so I'm going to let it come wherever it wants to go.
Yeah, oh yeah, I love that. Comedic personalities are genius when it comes to consciousness
There you go.
because you just lighten up, don't take it too seriously. It's all a game anyways, and we're here to have fun. So
Amen.
yeah,
Amen.
we're and that's really what Source wants to experience is fun. So
Sure. Well, like they say, as we gain in awareness, so will the quality of our existence.
Definitely. Well, before we talk about your high vibe company that you have been running for over 30 years, let's talk about how you even got into creating a company with this type of atmosphere, because not all companies are very high vibe.
Sure. No, well, where you're right, I was pursuing an acting career.
Oh, okay.
And with the birth of my fourth child, only 3 months away, my wife did say to me, as I was taking her to work as a waitress at a great restaurant, and about to give birth to my fourth child in 3 months, she said, maybe we got to think about something else besides the acting world. Maybe we could find something else that makes a little bit more money, honey. So in thinking that way, one of the part-time jobs, and I had numerous, was working for a PR company. And I went to the PR guy and said, hey, what do you think if I went full-time? So I ended up going full-time with him at this PR firm. And I sort of temporarily put the acting on hold. Little did I know that I would never come back to it. And so I worked at that outfit, and I grew as a publicist. And about 3 years later, I ended up starting my own company.
Well, and it has been lasting for a very long time. And
it sure has.
One of the things is when it comes to starting business, because whatever it is that people choose to do to create a livelihood to take care of themselves and their family, it is something that is a journey. So the journey, not very many people go into creating their own company. So when you went into it, was it something that you stumbled on, or did you actually have like a vision for how you're going to create this high frequency company? Because
good question, Bob. Well, what happened was that the PR company sort of dabbled in a lot of different areas. And then I found that I was really more drawn to that sort of spiritual, metaphysical sort of way of self-help. I was sort of drawn in that neck of the woods. And then I had a couple clients there, and I said, oh, boy, I really am drawn to that. So what I ended up doing was saying, okay, I'll see you later. And I'm going to sort of put my energy towards that and sort of blossom with that idea. And that's what Steve Allen Media is now. We're PR with a conscience is our tagline. And we work still in that area.
Yeah. So with that tagline of that your company is, which is public relations or PR with a conscience, what is your definitions of a company with a conscience? Because there's lots of different kinds of conscience. So
Amen. One of the things that I think PR companies have been saddled with is a lot of people don't trust them.
Mm.
They think that you are just, on to the next, on to the next. You really won't care about who I am or what I'm doing and whatever. We said, no, that's not true here.
Mm-hmm.
We don't advertise. We don't go looking for. We're word of mouth. Our company
Mm-hmm.
thrives on word of mouth. We stand behind our client. We care about them. We screen each other for numerous weeks to see if we are a good fit. Because if you're not a good fit, whatever. And so all those things need to fall in place. So then you have a clear conscience. So then we are working with you with a truth. We are working with you because it makes sense. So very, very, very seldom. It has happened, but not very often at all. We have slipped on it because it's, I don't know why. We just, maybe because we're human beings. But yeah.
Yeah, the thing is that I mean, people understand what a conscience is, and they understand what integrity is, and they understand these topics and these words and these terms. But what I found is living with integrity is completely different than knowing what it is. And let me explain a little bit further. Someone who is of integrity or integrous is someone who like typically you would coin like my word is good. Like they will come through what they say. When they commit to something, they're going to do their best to come through or make the effort to come through with it. When they accept something, that's what they're going to do. That like literally they will only commit to something that they know they can come through with. And but if something comes up where they aren't able to fulfill what they had said they are going to do, then they would take ownership and responsibility and then accountability and call the person or own up to, hey, I did my best. I'm not, for whatever reason, I'm not able to do this, so I'm sorry. But even on that aspect, a lot of people that I've come across have a very hard time even taking ownership of when they are not able to come through with the commitments that they had committed to. So, and that all falls into the conscience of the person that which comes into a company,
Sure.
which comes to company culture. So, what do you have to say for that concept of integrity? Because a lot of people still are working on being of integrity.
Well put, Bon. I enjoyed that little monologue that you did. Well, what happens is with the PR business in a campaign, you can't promise anybody anything. You can't say, well, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, that's going to happen, that's going to happen. That's not, you can't do that. It's almost like advertising. Well, if we advertise here, we advertise there, I can guarantee you're going to have that many. No, you can't. And with public relations, the only thing you can really guarantee is honesty, effort, clarity, understanding each other, and then you ask a company to go on your track record. What have you guys done for other clients? Let me talk to your other clients. Let me see who you are. Let me see where you guys, what type of accountability do you have? How is your word? Do you communicate with your clients? Yes, and media begets media. So as you start to climb up the ladder, everybody can see the progress. And if you're not really seeing progress, then then with integrity you bow out. But see, that's where too also is a PR company should only get involved with the type of clients that they think about, and only the type of clients that they read about, and for their own personal journey. In my own personal journey, I'm really involved with that type of reading on my own, that type of thinking on my own, striving to get a brighter light inside. So I'm thinking that way. So I like clients who are also thinking that way and have messages to enhance that. It could be environmental, it could be some type of lifestyle, it could be some type of book, but something that's really uplifting, something that's changing consciousness.
Yes, yes. I like that, changing consciousness, because people think about the concept of consciousness being, some airy fairy notion of thinking of higher resonance, or, whatever, however they want to define it. But basically, living of higher consciousness can come in any form, um, such as creating a company that sets appropriate expectations and fulfills those expectations as best as they can, or um,
Yeah.
creating a product that is of quality and um, delivering what they say the product is going to do. So there's a lot of um, ways to explore higher consciousness in the different things that we do, which is our expression of, I call it love. Like love, and we are all basically this one energy in the universe, which is love. It's just eternal love, and that is really all. It all boils down to that one energy. So us all being energy beings incarnate into an avatar, into these storylines, into all the different things within the reality in which we exist in. Everything that we do is just an expression of ourselves. So it's just a matter of what is your expression of love. So this is the package that Steve Allen Media. This is your expression of love.
Now, you
So
should also too, Vaughn, see the trick there, what you just said, I agree, but you have to recognize that. You have to
mm,
acknowledge that. You have to be willing to allow that to come into you, because it's so easy to close the curtain. It's so easy to shut the door and just keep moving and actually go and actually attempt to go on your journey
yeah.
without love.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but you have to consciously open the door. You have to consciously open the window. You have to willing to let it come in and to accept it and to hear it and listen to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Really good. So everybody, when you are creating whatever it is you're creating, whether it's a small company, whether the company is growing, whatever phase you are,
Actually, I'm doing an interview. I forgot about it. Can I move the call to 450? Sorry about that. Sorry
no,
about
it's
that.
okay. It's okay.
Well, we're a PR firm, so this is happening. We're in the
It's
middle of the
always
day.
happening. It's a movable thing. I totally understand it. So, real quick, there are a lot of truly great 5D companies trying to find clients such as, and you were talking about the sectors that are very high frequency, 3D house printing companies, vertical farming in high-rise office buildings, energy healing clinics, which is growing, small organic farms, which I'm in the Seattle area, and cannabis and hemp farms are growing exponentially
Everywhere.
everywhere. Once
Everywhere.
the state authorizes it for recreational, it's just booming, and everybody's trying to get set up, and they're trying to figure out this whole business thing and trying to bring it into a higher frequency. I mean, it's just exponential growth in that area. Organic farming in all different ways, and so many more that are struggling to find clients. So what are some affordable ways that these small businesses can get
Press.
market, yeah, to how can they market their product best on a budget as they kind of start out?
Well
Because
put. Good question. And that's here. I'd love to help. Anybody that's listening, listen up. Having done this for a long time. Google has everything. Google has everything. Um, if you're in Seattle and you say, look, I'd like to get my information out to all of the Seattle listeners that I can, then you would say, okay, what are the Seattle listeners viewing, looking at? What do they go online at? What are they looking for? And that's also very possible to Google and find out.
mm, mhm,
I can find out all the local television stations. I can find out all the local radio stations. I can find out the podcasts that originate from Seattle. I can find out online things that are very popular. It says things going on this week, or next
mhm,
door, or there's information. There's all these different things that you can do. You have to roll up your sleeves and say, let's go for it. Let me
mhm,
look for it. And then as you Google, And as you look, they're going to give you email addresses.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to give you phone numbers. Wow. Wow. This information is given to me. And then what you sort of need after that, once you got your database where to go, you can go online and learn how to write a sort of a simple one-page information sheet, like a simple one-page release that your podcast, your radio stations, your TV stations, they're sort of used to seeing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and online they'll tell you how to write one, how to create one, a nice headline, a little tagline, a little information, a little small bio, and where to contact me.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, the headline, just like any headline in any news or in any newspaper or magazine or online paper or Huffington Post, whatever, people like a nice headline. People like a different fun. Oh, catch my attention.
Yeah.
Catch my attention. And then you go a little bit here. So let's just say we got marijuana again. Marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
And you got some CBD oil that people are finding, boy, if I rub it into my joints, my arthritis goes away.
Mm-hmm.
So now we could say, oil away your arthritis. What? CBD company in Seattle boasts great testimonials. Yeah, and then you have a little bit of what you do, and then it could say, go to my website to read all about my testimonials. Oh, and because CBD is so popular, a lot of the podcasts and TV and people want to talk about it. It's very talk aboutable.
It is. And you know what I really foresee in the near future, as more and more states in this topic of CBD and cannabis, but as more states open it up for recreation and then they allow the industry to kind of grow and foster, right now you can't sell product across state lines.
Correct.
All right. Unfortunately, there's two things holding this industry from expanding in growth because of the stigma that cannabis
is that all states, Vaughn?
I'm not sure about all states, but most states you cannot sell across state lines, and also you must buy with cash. You can't buy with credit or debit card.
Well, I know wine has some restrictions, but many a state you can sell from state to state.
Yeah, wine you can. As of right now, from what I know so far, you can't sell cannabis or CBD.
Makes sense.
But in the near future, I will put money on this 100% that as all states or majority of the states open it up, states are going to open up allowing state to state cross line sales so people can exchange, and so it's not so secular into their own state, and they will allow customers to pay with any kind of with credit card, debit card. Right now you have to go in, you have to pull out the cash, you got to pay with cash for whatever reason, and I think that is because of the stigma of marijuana and its early links to the old days of marijuana and drug. But in a higher frequency society with a higher consciousness, we are using it for, like you said, medicinal use, for lotions, for oils, for joint pains, for pain, because you can customize it for pain. And I get a lot of clients that come in for hypnosis and for consultation because they want to talk to their higher self or consciousness of how they can build out their business plan, because they're great farmers, they're not great business. And if they create their business, they're great farmers and they learn the business aspect of it, but they're not really good at marketing or how to distribute and all that. So they're learning, they're all learning, but they love the product and they love what they do. And so you're saying just go Google it and start with one lead, and it will carry on to the next.
And not only one, but like Seattle's got several morning shows on TV. I work with several of them there. King 5, I think, is a good one. Has a great morning show. But anyway, they also have many a podcast. They got many radio. They got some
Yeah.
great people still read the newspaper online and traditional. There are some great monthly magazines there. There are wonderful online, talk aboutable sites that are talking about this and that and whatever. Not to say that cannabis doesn't have its own sites. And I bet you there's a marijuana magazine in town. So you have access to quite a large database that you could build. Build that database. Find out where I can go. Find out what I can do, whatever else. Now I have my database sitting in front of me. I go online and I find, how do I write a press release? Writing a press release. Click, click, click. Oh, wow, there it is. It shows you, come up with a fun headline, make it one page only, with some fun links back to my website or some testimonials. Oh, how about that? Make it sort of interesting. And now send it to those people, what you've created. Then wait a week, send it again. Wait 2 weeks, send it again.
Yeah, they'll eventually open it up.
And if they have some phone numbers, hi, I sent you. If they give numbers, which we do, we do a lot of follow up in our company.
Yeah,
follow up is everything. So you have to, whatever. But no, it's one of those things that I can clean my gutters also. I can change the oil in my car, but I let other people do that. So if you can't do it yourself, you'll find a publicist. But do it yourself if you can. That you're right. I mean, why not?
yeah. You hear that, people? Because there's a lot of really high frequency people in all of these very, very high vibe, fifth dimensional industries they're learning. They're learning the business, they're learning the customer service, and they're learning the marketing. And that typically is the last piece of it, but they're learning as they go. So this, for those people who are ready for this is where you can get ahead of this.
Yeah,
and so
well, no, I was just going to say, it's like anything else. You need to get your flare into the sky. I have to be visible. I have to become visible. Not that sometimes you're discovered accidentally. Oh my God, I didn't see that happening. But the majority of the time, the seesaw tilts towards, put your flare into the sky. I mean, even if you have to put flyers on people's windows or put flyers in their mailbox, but do something and do it on a regular basis. Don't give up. Be tenacious. Don't give up, especially if you have a vision. If you have a vision, keep going. Keep going. Don't ever give up. Don't ever give up.
Yep. I love that. I love that encouragement. Okay, so my day job is in IT, and I know a lot of startups, and I've been through a couple of different startups here in the Seattle area that go in to maybe like a 5 to 10 year span before they merge, split up, whatever. So I have personally seen that the underlying factor is that they start taking their employees for granted when they reach the top. And as a result, their employees take all of their tribal knowledge and expertise to other companies. Yeah. So, and this happens quite often in IT because it is still a budding industry. It has matured like other industries, and so just like a lot of young industries, they learn through the hard knocks, and so 5-10 years is typically the span. Can you explain how ego plays into the slogan, "You're only as good as the company you keep"? Because that was one thing that you guys say.
We say that? Our company says that?
Yeah, you're only as good as the company you keep. I think I watched your interview where you said that too.
My 2 cents is birds of a feather flock together. Like-minded hang out with like-minded. If I'm thinking about robbing a bank, I'll probably hang out with people who rob banks. If I do drugs a lot, I probably hang out with drug people. So my thing is, see what you're thinking, and if you can, you don't mind sort of getting with creative people, getting with people who stimulate you, people who will make you think more about that. People who will, you don't want to go down, you'd like to come up, because what your goal is to get brighter and more conscious and brighter, and the brighter you get, you attract a different kind of moth. Your light attracts a different kind of moth. So as the brighter you get, sort of hang out with those people, listen to them. Maybe you're supposed to hear something. Maybe you're supposed to learn something. Maybe it's supposed to be your business partner. Maybe you're supposed to go out with them. Who knows?
Yeah, I have observed that a lot of the IT companies or the startups in tech, for example, the ones that are really good are the ones that have long tenure. And they offer opportunities for advancement. They take care of their people, and they're very transparent. I mean, a lot of just very high consciousness people work for them. Plus, their book of business typically are have been around for a very, very long time. So they're not, the fly by night customer book of business. So and it goes exactly what you're saying. Birds of a feather flock together. When it comes to business, um, the tenure people typically attract the more senior type book of business that is looking for longevity and not just fly by night. I want to, be number one today and then I'll drop you tomorrow and move on to something else. They like to stay steady. And that's what I've noticed. And I hope a lot of people who are listening who work in budding industries like IT, because we have learned this as well in that 5-10 year span of turnover from company to company, that as these other budding industries that are very high vibe come into play, like the cannabis industry or CBD, energy healing, etc., that they will follow the same patterning as well. So learn from other industries who have gone through these roller coasters when it comes to this topic. So let me ask you this. What are your suggestions for entrepreneurs and authors who want to build their small business with a fifth dimensional mindset or a higher frequency mindset?
Well, it all starts with you. I mean, you sort of go as far as you go. I mean, what's happening inside of you, and I'll go. This is the second time I've said, the brighter you get, the more aware that you get, things open up. It's different. You get different feelings. You hear things. Synchronicities happen.
Explain synchronicities in business.
Positive happenings. And they just occur because you are now more in tune to it. You become If you're downtrodden and all the life is bad, and I'm in Seattle, it's always raining, and you're going to get more of that. But if you can see through the fog, and you can see the sunshine, no matter if it wasn't sunshine, and you can see the good things, and you can see your dream, and you can keep going forward, boy, you got a better opportunity. I don't care what you do. So as an entrepreneur, you got to be clear. Boy, oh boy, an entrepreneur, I could give you a big hug, because you're out there a little bit by yourself. And you got to have a good vision to it. You got to say, I can do this. And you have a good feeling about an industry. Like if you're going into IT, I mean, there's a lot of different jobs in IT. It's not just one job. So you want to get yourself into the right place, get your foot into some door, and then because you're together and you're really, wow, I got a good thought. It's taking you someplace within that company or within that group. It all depends on you. It's all you. You create your own breaks. You create it. You make it happen. You manifest it. You're the one who does it, not somebody else. You don't blame anybody. You can't blame anybody. You only blame you.
Right.
You.
Very. That's very, very well said. Take accountability for what you create and what you experience.
Everything. Your whole life you do. Everything in life you do. Oh, geez, I could have married a better, my job, no. Come on. See it. You got to see it. You got to feel it.
Yeah. And that goes for real estate too, because to be honest with you,
it goes for a publicist.
It goes for publicists. Yep.
It goes for me too.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, whether you're a publicist on your own, trying to start a website publication to get a lot of followers or subscribers, etc., or even like in real estate industry, for example, the housing market has never really gone down. We're in our own little bubble. It just keeps on going up. If anything, it's stagnant for a little bit, but it keeps going up. It doesn't go down. And we're kind of like when there was a depression. I heard that there was depression in other parts of the country, not this area, not the West Coast. It just kept on going up. It was in its own little bubble, economic bubble. And there's a lot of people going into the industry, and they're trying to have that entrepreneur mindset and all that kind of stuff. So this is really going to kind of help them focus on the game that they're playing and level it up to the highest ability that they can. Let me ask you this. Let's switch wires. So Steve, how do you feel about being remembered as the father of the ugly baby from the TV series Seinfeld? I know everybody asks you, but
Yeah, no. I did quite a bit of TV back when, and that particular role, because I think it was on Seinfeld. Oh, you were on Seinfeld. Oh my God, you were the father of the ugly baby? Yes. It's like and then it happened. That show happened to really hit it. So I think because of that, it was even more special. But it was a very small part. I mean, it wasn't a big deal. It was just like one of the other crazy characters they have. They have a lot of them, and I happen to be the father of the ugly baby. So that's it was kind of it is. But I want to can I go back to something?
Yes.
Yeah. No matter what you're doing, Bob, as you keep climbing the ladder of wisdom, and as you keep moving forward, like you said, it's never anybody else's fault. It's me.
Mm-hmm.
I always have to keep myself in the memory of what do I need to do? What can I see? Because what's in your mind will manifest.
Right.
Reapeth, soweth. Whatever you're planting, there's a good chance it'll occur. So you want to keep planting real, positive, doable things. Keep seeing that, and have that light lead you. And if you find yourself drifting to like negative things, now you're starting to think about, I'm unhappy, depression. And the more you start thinking about that, the more you're going to get. It's one of the things that I love, Vaughn, is a guy by the name of Henry Ford, who started Ford Model T way back on. Like in 19 or whatever, I'm open to be wrong, like 1920 or 1919 or 21. He had at the factory, he had a big conference for everybody. And you know this, what I'm going to tell you?
Well, I do know that Henry Ford, one of his earlier cars, he made out of hemp.
No. What he said to everybody, what he said to the people, you must be a pot smoker. Do you like smoking pot, Bond? Is that what this is? This whole conversation?
No, I'm not talking about that right now.
Are you high now?
What?
I don't know. So anyway, Henry Ford, he says to everybody, if you think you can, or if you think you can't, you're right.
Yeah.
So I'm going back to those entrepreneurs. What are you thinking about? What are you doing every day? Of course you're going to get rained on. Of course you're going to need an umbrella. Come on, let's go. You got to be able to stand up to whatever it is, because that's why you're here. I mean, you're here walking around. There are going to be tests all the time. There are tests all the time. Can you find peace in the middle of a storm? Can you find peace in the middle of a storm? Can you move forward? Or else get out. Go home if you can.
Yeah. There's going to be many tests. Very good. Very, very good for people to hear. Okay, so what are your suggestions for people to liberate themselves from seeing their life as small and instead connect to universal consciousness within themselves? Because we're all consciousness playing different, mini parts. So
this is it. This is everything right here. Up here. It's not how big you are or how strong you are or what color skin you have or what religion you are. It's not. It's all here. What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? Because you have free will. You have free will. And because of that, you can put anything you want in your garden. You can think about anything you want to think about. So because you have a choice, choose it. Oh, put those movies in. See that good thing happening. See that IT company going. See that sale of my real estate. See that cannabis market opening up. See that going on. And you can't stand on a corner and hold up a sign.
Yeah.
Then you're a nut. Then you're a nut. But can I walk it? Can I realize I'm beautiful? Can I realize I'm special and I can manifest something? Can I? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And so, yeah, that's my advice. That's why, and if you think you're going to win every round I'm going to win this day, no, someday, because you're a human being, you slip, but you got to get up, get back up, get back up. And
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah, I'm all about, because I get a lot of business clients that come in going, who are starting out, who are going, how do I? And so everybody's perspective on how they can jump into fifth dimensional or higher consciousness with source and kind of overcome those lower dense third dimensional holdbacks or beliefs that they have about themselves is something that people especially when they start out in their farm business or whatever business that they do, it's always something that kind of they hold themselves back. So what is your last message for people who are ready to jump into that higher frequency consciousness for their business? So last message for everybody.
Jump. Go. Do it. No, it's if you're getting a message and you're feeling it, I'm getting this feeling all the time. I'm talking to people or I'm reading things and I'm thinking about it. I can, I bet you I could. I bet you I could. That there's something inside of you giving you a little push. There's a little voice. Something's going and pushing you. Listen to it. Do it. Do it. Listen to what that voice is telling you to do and do it. And if you fall down on your knees, so what? Get up. Do it again.
Do it again.
Do it again.
Yeah.
Don't do it again. Like I said, look up the database if you want to get yourself out there. Find the numbers. Write the release. Send it via email. Maybe you follow up and do some phone calls. Whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is.
I love it. I love it. Well, Steve, thank you for a fun interview about how we can all thrive and enjoy ourselves in the fifth dimension. Also, thank you for you and your staff being fifth dimensional awareness long before it became cool. So for more information about Steve Allen Media's offerings, please visit their company website, which is Steve Allen, ALLEN media.com. And again, thank you to our listeners for listening to another enlightening conversation.
And Vaughn, if anybody calls from your show, they can ask me. I'll give them some free advice.
Yeah, that's wonderful. You hear that, guys? I'm really excited for the next level of business coming forth. So until next time, blessings.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Merkaba Chakras, where we talk Buddhism in the fifth dimension. For more information about today's guest, please go to the show description. For more information about Vaughn's metaphysical work, please go to merkabachakras.com. The views expressed today are for entertainment purposes and do not necessarily reflect the views of the host or replace any medical or legal advice. Don't forget to subscribe for more interviews about the fifth dimension. Until we meet again, blessings.